let's get straight to it. Your website traffic is going down. Not maybe, not eventually. It's happening right now. Why? Because people aren't starting their journeys with Google anymore. They're opening ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. They're asking questions instead of typing keywords. The biggest shift in digital experiences is happening right under our noses. We're moving to conversational interfaces. Now, before you panic about your analytics dashboard turning into a graveyard, here's the thing. Less traffic doesn't mean no traffic. And more importantly, the traffic you do get is going to be completely different. So think about it. When someone finds your site now, they've already done their homework. They've had a conversation, they've gotten recommendations, they've been basically pre-qualified. They're not just browsing anymore, they're coming to do something. So here's the kicker. The experience you create when they arrive matters more than ever, because these users have just had a conversation that gave them instant, personalized, and relevant answers. And now they're on your site expecting what exactly? So most of you are serving them the same static homepage you built 3 years ago. And that's the problem we need to solve. But it's also the massive opportunity sitting in front of us. So let me paint you a picture with a story that's becoming increasingly common. So meet Sarah. She's a high school student in Melbourne who's passionate about marine biology and climate change. So Sarah doesn't start her undergraduate journey by Googling best marine biology universities Australia. Instead, she opens Claude and says, I'm interested in marine biology and want to focus on climate change research. I'd like to stay in Australia, but I'm open to some international options. What universities should I consider and what makes their program special? Within seconds, she gets a personalized response that considers her location, her interests, and her aspirations. AI doesn't just list universities, it explains why each program might suit her specific goals, mentions recent research breakthroughs, and even suggests professors whose work aligns with her interests. Or, here's Alex. He's a senior developer who's been tasked with upgrading his team's monitoring setup. He doesn't browse through product comparison sites. Instead, he asks ChatGPT, I need to monitor a distributed microservices architecture running on Kubernetes. We're currently using Prometheus, but need better alerting and visualization. Budget is around 15K annually, so what are my best options? AI gives him a detailed breakdown of Datadog versus New Relic versus Grandfather Cloud, explains them the pros and cons for his specific use case, and even mentions integration complexity and team learning curves. And this is where something crucial happens in both stories. Sarah and Alex have received valuable information, but now they want to take action. So Sarah clicks through to a university's website and Alex heads to Datadog's site to see their Kubernetes integration in detail. And this is where the magic or the missed opportunity happens. So when Sarah lands on that university website or Alex hits Datadog's homepage, neither is starting from zero. They're already engaged, informed, and ready to go deeper. Their attention spans aren't just short, they've been trained by AI to expect instant, relevant, and personalized responses. Traditional websites drop the ball here. They force everyone to start over, navigate through generic menus, and piece together information they've already partially received. Alex lands on a homepage talking about enterprise monitoring solutions when what he really wants to know is, show me exactly how this handles Kubernetes pod failures and what the alerting rules look like. Sarah gets a generic university branding about world-class education, but what she really wants to see is, here is how our marine biology program specifically addresses climate change research. It's like having an engaging conversation with someone and then suddenly switching to reading the phone book. And the websites that will thrive are those that pick up where that conversation left off. So this obviously isn't just about universities, but the principle is the same. Users expect the conversation to continue when they arrive at your site. But here is what happens when Sarah clicks through to a university's website and they got this right. So she arrives at the university site and is presented with a smart interface that says, what brings you to our university today? Are you exploring undergraduate programs, graduate research opportunities, or something else? When she mentions marine biology, it immediately responds, what interests you most about marine science? Our Great Barrier Reef Research Station, our climate modelling work, or our industry partnerships with organisations like the CSIRO. She mentions climate change research, and suddenly she's seeing faculty profiles, recent publications, and ongoing projects that match her passion. She also mentions her strong math background, and the system highlights the quantitative marine science tracks. But here is where it gets exciting. Instead of sending Sarah to fill out forms or call the admissions office, the conversational interface becomes her guide. So based on what you've told me, I'd recommend these 3 degree combinations. Would you like me to check if you meet the prerequisites and show you what your first year schedule might look like? The system can check her prerequisites conversationally. Have you completed Year 12 Chemistry and Biology? What's your ATAR? Based on her answers, perfect. You meet all the requirements and you will even be eligible for our Excellence Scholarship. That's $5,000 per year. I could start your application right now and include the scholarship application. Should I also connect you with Mary Chen, our admissions counsellor, who specialises in marine science programs? She has slots available on Friday at 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. if you'd like to chat. So notice what happened. No PDF downloads, no separate portals, no call us during business hours. The entire enrollment journey happened through a conversation. But here is where it gets really interesting. Sarah's journey doesn't end with enrollment, it evolves. Once Sarah becomes a student, that same conversational intelligence transitions into her student portal. Now the agent has access to her academic data, her course progress, and her interests. It becomes a long-term partner in her success. 6 months into her program, it might say, "Hi Sarah, I noticed you're excelling in your quantitative marine science courses. There's a new research opportunity with Dr. Chen's climate modelling lab that would be perfect for someone with your math skills. Would you like me to help you apply?" The agent remembers her preferences, tracks her academic journey, and proactively suggests relevant opportunities. If she's struggling with chemistry, it might say, "Hi, I see you're finding organic chemistry challenging this semester. Would you like me to book you a session with our top chemistry tutor? There's a study group on Wednesday nights that has a great pass rate." This isn't just a website anymore. It's an intelligent partner that grows with Sarah throughout her entire university experience, using real data to provide genuinely helpful guidance. So for organizations, whether you're universities, businesses, or service providers, this transformation demands a complete rethink of your digital strategy. So first, content is still king, but context is everything. So you still need to publish great information. That is how the AI systems learn about you and recommend you to users. But that information needs to be structured for conversation, not just for search engines. This means fundamentally changing how you write. Instead of saying competitive tuition, you need to state $12,000 per subject. Instead of excellent job prospects, you need to specify 94% placement rate with an average starting salary of $67,000. Instead of experienced faculty, you name actual professors and their research areas. This is a shift from marketing language to factual, explicit content that AI systems can extract and users can act on. So when someone asks an AI assistant about your programs, services, or products, the AI needs clear, structured information to give accurate answers. Vague descriptions and marketing speak that worked for traditional SEO simply don't work in a conversational world where users expect specific, actionable information. It also means organizing information the way people actually ask questions, not the way your internal departments are structured. Users don't care that admissions and financial and aid are separate departments. They just want to know, what will this cost me and how do I apply in one coherent answer? Second, experiences must be continuation ready. So your website cannot be a dead end. It needs to pick up conversations that started elsewhere and continue them. This means rethinking your information architecture, your user flows, and your interface design. The most successful organizations are designing entry points that immediately engage users in conversation about their specific needs, rather than forcing them through generic navigation menus. Third, personalization is essential. So when users arrive on your digital properties, they've already been spoiled by AI's ability to understand and respond to their specific needs. Generic experiences will feel broken in comparison. And the difference between showing everyone the same homepage and dynamically surfacing the most relevant content based on user intent is the difference between conversion and abandonment. And last, you need to think beyond traffic metrics. So we have spent decades optimizing for page views and session duration. The future is really going to be around conversion quality and user satisfaction. A shorter, more effective interaction might be more valuable than a longer browsing session. Organizations need to start measuring success by how effectively they help users complete their goals, not how long they can keep them clicking around. So organizations that embrace this shift early will have an enormous competitive advantage. While competitors are still forcing users through traditional multi-step processes, you're delivering instant, personalized solutions. And the result will be higher conversion rates, shorter sales cycles, and users who become advocates because you made their experience effortless. So how do you begin this transformation? The technology exists today, much more than you might expect. We already have conversational AI that can understand context and maintain coherent dialogues. We have personalization engines that can adapt experiences in real time, and we have analytics that can track user intent, not just behavior. So what does this actually look like in practice? So there are two fundamental things you need to get right. First, you need to get your content AI ready. The content needs to work for both humans and AI systems. This means auditing at scale, not just checking for broken links or missing meta tags, but testing whether AI can actually answer user questions from your content. You need to ensure your content answers the questions users are asking, provides them with complete information, and gives clear answers with no risk of misleading customers. In my experience rolling out conversational search, this is where organizations consistently underestimate the challenge. A recent MIT study found that 95% of AI pilot projects fail, and it's not because the technology doesn't work. It's because companies skip the foundation. Content that looks perfectly fine to humans often fails completely when AI tries to extract answers from it. I've worked with companies getting ready to launch conversational search only to discover that the product pages were giving conflicting pricing information, their support content referenced features that no longer existed, and their service descriptions were so vague that users got frustrated rather than converted. We work with organizations to approach it systematically. That MIT research confirms that foundation work is what separates successful AI implementations from the 95% that fail. The key is identifying the most common questions users ask, then ensuring content provides clear, direct answers. This involves eliminating jargon that requires insider knowledge and making sure critical information like costs, requirements, and timelines are explicitly stated, not buried in footnotes or implied through context. This also means moving from contact us for pricing to actual price ranges, from rolling admissions to specific application deadlines, and from we have a really experienced team to naming actual people with their credentials. The goal is content that works whether someone is reading it directly on your site or getting answers through an AI system. The second step is connecting your systems. So the magic happens when your conversational interfaces can actually help users take action, not just provide information. This means connecting to your CRM, to your booking system, to your enrollment platforms, whatever enables users to move from conversation to completion. So think of Sarah's university journey we saw earlier. The system didn't just tell her about her marine biology programs, it checked the prerequisites, showed the course schedules, and it started the application conversationally. So this is where a lot of organizations fall short. They build great conversational experiences that end with call us to learn more or fill out this form. The leaders are connecting their conversational systems directly to the tools that matter. The goal is eliminating every possible friction point between user interest and completed action. So when someone is ready to move forward, the system should be able to facilitate that immediately, not redirect them to start over somewhere else. As we look ahead, I see a future where boundaries of the web are almost disappearing entirely. Users will have ongoing relationship with digital agents that help them navigate complex decisions and processes over time. This isn't about replacing human connection. It's about using technology to create better, more meaningful human connections by removing friction and providing guidance. The shift to conversational interfaces isn't coming, it's already here. And the question isn't whether that transformation will happen, but whether your organization will lead it or be left behind. The users are already changing their behavior. They're expecting more personalized, more conversational, more helpful digital experiences. And the technology exists to deliver on these expectations. What we need now is the vision to reimagine our digital experiences and the commitment and courage to build them. The future of digital experiences is conversational, personal, and action-orientated, and that future starts with the very next experience that you design.